need to meet those French people. I might hate France.
Yeah, the French people that I've met, they're all about the day is fault.
All right, boys, we are live on YouTube, just so everybody knows.
Understood.
Excellent.
YouTube.
I should say the hard R as loud as I can.
YouTube cannot see who's talking, but they can hear everything you say.
All right. What are we doing this evening?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What are we doing this evening? So, actually, before we get started, while people trickle in, I wanted to have a quick topical discussion, just verbally. What would you do if you got word over your local news, like your city or your county news, that there were, in fact, Iranian sleeper cells, like actively running around, causing a problem, and they were, like, telling everybody shelter in place, you know, et cetera, et cetera? What actions would you take in that moment? Not again, reiterating, not just that there are Iranian sleeper cells in America, but in your local area.
Yeah, and they're operational. I mean, they're doing stuff.
Right.
Definitely rally the guys that I know, start talking and figuring things out. I'm not the most experienced at this, but I'm going to try to coordinate with the local police if they're useful at all. If not, then hey, it's kind of that sucks, but you know.
Unless you live in a super rural county and you already have a close relationship with like the sheriff and the one deputy, what's going to happen is they're going to tell you to just stay in place, stay put.
Understood.
Stay put and protect yourself and your property. That's what the cops are going to tell you.
Okay.
I'm not really sure what I would do. Like, what specifically are they doing? Are they like attacking American civilians?
Say, like, you heard just what I said. The news says there are Iranian sleeper cells. They are active in this local area / city, county, whatever makes sense for you. And they're instructing everybody to immediately shelter in place. Do not go anywhere unless you have to for an emergency. And notifying you that emergency services are doing their best to handle it, but they are spread thin, so they cannot respond to you. Protect yourself. That's like just on repeat on the news. Right. And then you go to social media and it says like everything that you could imagine is being said on social media.
I probably would just, I don't know about shelter in place, but probably just, you know what I would really do? I would honestly find a way to not shelter in place.
Yeah? Like what?
Yeah. How to sneak out, how to evade drones, good pathways to go in and out of my neighborhood.
Yeah, I don't think
completely and utterly violate the shelter in order plan.
Yeah. So what do you want to run around and for what? Why?
Because they told me not to.
Sure. Okay.
So, I mean, okay, if leaving is an option, which I don't like. Okay, like there's a plan. Like my family has a house up in the mountains, but it's like, I don't know. For the sake of the game, let's not, and let's stick this out.
I mean, you can. This is just a thought experiment for everybody individual. You can take it however you want. You can act like you don't have it. If you want to try to run to the mountain, then that's the thought experiment for you. What do you take? How fast do you try to leave? How much? Like, do you try to just go hard and heavy so no one fucks with you? Do you try and sneak under the radar? What's your game plan? How do you get to that house in the mountains?
I mean, you need to leave pretty quickly. Like right now, this sucks, but it just kind of is what it is. I'm in a city, and it's like one of those things where if you're not going to get out in the first, 8 hours, if there's a panic or some shit like that going on, you're probably not going to get out. But I don't know. It's interesting. If the media is spreading this, then they're pretty out about it. Or they're trying to sow fear, which, what else is new? But it's interesting.
Sure, let's say it's like legit. In whatever for your case it would be a city, right? Because you have a higher population density, so it's a closer circle of what the local news means to you, right? That there's like somewhere in the city limits there is whatever at least one, if not multiple, small groups of whoever, and this is an example, Iranian sleeper cells running around doing whatever, sabotage, shooting at the police, trying to do mass shootings, whatever, right? Let your imagination run wild. So they're out there. Now, what are the chances you're going to run into them? Not zero because they're out there, but needle in a haystack theory. You could cross your fingers and hope.
Certainly possible, but yeah.
Anybody else?
I'm gonna go to work. I have permission to set up a sniper perch on our roof. And I'm just gonna go sit there, and I'm gonna bring everyone with me, including my dog, because
You gotta have your dog. He's your war buddy.
I can jump in here. You said something interesting there. Like, I'm gonna go to work, and that's interesting because it's like everybody still has to work, right? I mean, you got to bring in the money. I know that's not what you meant by it, but
I also work at a gun store, so that helps.
There you go.
Yeah, but I mean, still, everyone, like, even though you're shelter in place, even though there's a lot of jobs that are remote now, obviously, COVID showed that, but not everyone. A grocery store can't work remote. That's not.
Sure, let's just say for the sake of like this initial day, everything like the news came out, right? The sleeper cell got activated, and then as soon as they started doing stuff, the news came out about it, and they're basically saying wherever you are, shelter in place, right? So if you're in the grocery store, lock the doors, everybody hunker down in the grocery store. If you're in your house, stay in your house. If you're et cetera, right? For this initial 12 hours of the situation while the emergency services try to deal with it is what basically the news is telling you.
Oh. If you got a shelter in place at a grocery store, you are going to have a hell of a barbecue.
Again, this isn't like a long-term shelter in place. This is like an initial, like there are terrorists running around. Stay the fuck inside so the cops can deal with it. Is what the news says.
Block off major roads, because I'm in a city as well, but I'm in a neighborhood.
Sure.
Block off like the few blocks around me with cars and shit. I know there's plenty of people with them. So just make it annoying enough for them to get in. They might just bypass it.
Sure. So what's your plan, or do you have any thought of how that actually happens? How do you go from sitting in your desk to then go for it?
I'm homies with all of my neighbors.
Got you. Perfect.
I don't have bad neighbors.
Yeah, perfect.
I also just have multiple vehicles.
Got you.
I could probably just do it myself if I felt like.
Got you. Cool.
It's a really good point that you made. This got me thinking about the neighborhood that I'm in right now, and there's one way in here, and it's also the only way out, and it's like along a forest. It would be really, really easy to go and just start knocking down trees and just laying them across the road.
Yep.
I mean,
well, it's like depending how quick you're trying to move, someone's gonna have an axe or a hatchet or whatever. Someone's gonna have a chainsaw. Even if you really want to, someone's probably gonna have a truck and some chains. You're gonna be able to pull down trees, walls, whatever. Like, if you just make it annoying enough, they're gonna keep going. Like, would you take an easy target or a not as easy target? Like,
for sure. On the flip side, just as you mentioned, there's one way in, one way out. So creating impenetrable barriers, quote unquote, also prevents anybody from getting out to escape or people to help coming in. So the idea of wanting to control that choke point is definitely solid. I'm just throwing it out there. Maybe it's an emergency situation and that's what you do want. Maybe you feel like you can control it without that. Yeah.
Block it off halfway.
Sure.
Block it off halfway with trees and stuff, and then put a couple cars. Someone can ram through one car, but three, that's gonna be rough.
Yeah, definitely.
Make it easy. like on you, and then you still got in and out.
Absolutely.
That's
Everybody's
a good point.
everybody's head's in the right place thus far. Anybody else have something to say about it?
I know you guys talked about like along those lines, like vehicle barricades and stuff, like the S curve and everything in previous episodes. Setting that up so people are forced to slow down. Yeah, I think that was the area.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, we've talked about it in a few videos. I have a whole video specifically on vehicle checkpoints for civilians. But yeah, you guys got the right idea. Obstruct the road in a way that forces people to slow down, but still allows somebody that you want to drive through at a reasonable pace. Alrighty. So the scenario we have today is that basically America fizzled out. It died with a whimper, not a bang. That starting in 2027 with the 2028 election cycle, there was just like a complete lack of support in the Democratic Party, and the Republican Party had fractured, and there was multiple people running as independents, and there was no clear unification of power or culture, along with a bunch of other things that were happening politically and riots that were going on in major cities for several weeks, resulted in several states seceding, right, leaving the Union, but not in a way which they did previously where they unified together to form something else, but just they said, we're not playing with y'all, we're doing our own thing now. We'll say 30 out of the 50 states have left the Union and declared themselves sovereign individual nation states. And this created a lot of chaos in the economy, in the political structure, resulting ultimately in everything getting more localized. So now things pretty much run at the city or the county level, again, depending on whether we're in an urban or rural setting. And so like the sheriff or the police department, the local town have the center of power, and the mayor or the county municipal courts have the centers of power. They have more power than the state government, and the federal government pretty much doesn't exist anymore. So along with those power centers being more dispersed and not unified, in the gaps that form in between, there's obviously lots of organized crime and bandits and stuff like that existing in no man's land, and then that can pose a problem for people trying to have a more structured society. So we've been doing this town the last couple weeks. We're going to do it again this week at least. Beattyville, and then the area out to the west. So it's that scenario that I just painted. Beattyville is the main center of power for the county that we're in. That's just how things shook out for us. As such, we have more of the actual like political leaders, and there's a larger consolidation of wealth and like livestock, trade supplies, stuff like that here at Beattyville, because this is kind of the happening center for the larger local area. So obviously we need, we're a pretty fat target, so we have to have increased security levels, all those sorts of things. Just throwing it out there, explaining why we're going to have some of the problems we're going to have as we move on. So at our disposal, we have 3 7-man squads. So we're running pretty skeleton crew, right? So that's 2 3-man teams and then a squad leader. And then each team has a vehicle, right? So there's 6 total teams, 6 total vehicles, and those are organically organized into 3 separate squads. Everybody has ARs, except 1 person for every squad. So 1 person for every 7 people has an SPR-style weapon, also an AR-15 pattern. And, just to reiterate, that makes us to 21 total. So we need at least 1 volunteer, but we could have up to 3 today. And the first task for today is there's been some issues with our waterway. We have water collection points here, and we've been told that there's some issues there, that they're testing weird, possibly contaminated, and there's been signs that people were around there, so we need to go investigate that. And then also tomorrow we're going to be having a market held here in this baseball field arena right here, like a local farmers market, but that's kind of what the local town relies on for their commerce. And then also we have a key leader meeting for all of the people in the local area getting together. Where are we at? At the Beattyville Country Club right here, which is also on our map. Whoa. Right there.
Okay. And this is all going on at the same time?
Well, dispersed throughout a week. So today we need to go investigate that waterway, and I think I either said in 1 or 2 days we have the market, and then in a week is going to be that key leader meeting.
Okay.
All right, so.
All right, let's start with the waterway.
Yeah, who wants to run the show here, or what 3 people want to join forces?
I'd like to get in on this.
I'll get in on it.
Brand's man is down.
All right, so let me name these guys real quick. Evil one. So that waterway, we're going to be inspecting that waterway. If you guys want to start thinking or discussing amongst yourself, there's just some inlets from this main Kentucky River here that turn into little creekways right on the edge of our town, and we have like water collection points and stuff set up there. And there's been some physical disruption, as well as there's been concern they've been contaminated. So we have water test strips that we're going to go test, and just investigate, see what's going on.
Okay.
Alrighty.
How accessible is like upstream, upriver?
Still R1. Fair enough. Alright.
Right. So here's like the where it comes in right here, upriver.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, like upstream, like where our collection points are.
Yep, they're right here. Is the main one. Looks like there's only one here on the actual satellite image. There was 2 on the map.
Okay.
Yep. So this creek right here. So right here in this mouth, we just got a little thing set up.
Okay. Well, if we got three groups of 7 dudes, that's a security team and a support team, and I guess assault in this case will be the people that actually go and in case we encounter a problem or anything like that. I don't know if we want to handle it that way. Assume that, I don't know, there's maybe something hostile going on there, or how you guys want to do it.
First thing I would do is scope the area out.
Yeah.
Is there anyone still there?
Well, and do we already want to get started scouting out any of the other areas? Or are we going to put that off for longer? Because I don't think it takes 20 dudes to look at water.
Yeah, we could absolutely do that. And I assume also this is like the local area. We're locals, so
correct.
We're going to be pretty familiar with, people are going to know us as well.
Yeah, generally speaking,
right.
You know the terrain and stuff, but it's always good if you want to do like a sweep the day before, pre-security checks or something. That's never like a terrible idea.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did you have something specific in mind that you wanted to scout or look at?
We said it was the what's it called? Market.
It was the market
tomorrow, right?
And then the key leader.
Yeah, the market is.
Yeah, going like there's all of those woods in there. If we have 2 guys, 2 vehicles, or like 2 squads, 2 vehicles, go up, just kind of talk with everyone. Hey, how's it looking? Get out onto, was it like Happy Top Road over there on the west side, and just kind of go around. Just make sure that we're not seeing anything big, and already set up checkpoints and say in case someone is coming early, we have like one team on site, one team blocking the road, and then people are going to be showing up early, I assume. So already talking with everyone, just getting that organized.
Yeah, that's all reasonable thoughts.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we could send another team to the key leader area as well. Basically, do similar thing.
I mean, that's like
Also check your tracks, because you said there's possibly people around there. That's the first thing I would be looking for.
Is the key leader thing, is that like a town council? Is that like public forum? Does everybody know about that, or is that like
it's just a meeting of the leaders only, and whatever entourage they bring with themselves, and that's going to be here at the Beattyville County Club.
And that's like that's a week out, right?
Correct.
okay.
Yeah, we probably don't need that yet, do we?
Probably not. Yeah, we prioritize the market. I mean, that's a lot of woods. So, I mean, you want to send 2 units up there, and then one group will grab the water?
Yeah, I mean.
Oh, look, this map is old. They leveled this whole thing and built a market over there, or these baseball fields are where this mountain used to be. That's hilarious. Cool. So who's going over to check out the market ahead of time?
I'll do that.
I will.
There can only be one. What does it want? Hate France or Phil Hardar?
I'll take it. France will go.
I thought we were sending 2, just because of the.
Well, a squad is 2 teams. You said 2 vehicles, so there's 7 guys out there. 2 vehicles, 7 guys, 2 teams, 1 squad.
Initially, do we want to send two squads, like 2 full squads?
If you guys are were you guys planning on sweeping the woods?
Not really. I was gonna talk to the locals and just set up on the road, like, what is that? White Ash Road, like right there. Have one team up there, and then one team like on site, and just talk to locals. Go, hey, have you guys seen anything? Like, if we're small-ish community, like, I know I recognize when there's a car I don't know. I kind of figure they would, even if they've just seen it.
It makes sense. I like it.
Because then that just frees up you guys to check the water and do whatever over there too.
Cool. Yeah. If you're good with it, I think you've got it.
Yeah. I'll just be over there. Like I said, one on the road, one like on site already.
Okay.
For locals or whoever.
Okay. I think it goes without saying that we have our comms like worked out and kind of squared away at this point.
Yeah, the image I try to portray with equipment is that you guys are pretty squared away, right? Everybody's running AR-15s. You have 1 SPR per squad. Your manpower is a bit limited. You're running skeleton crews, but you guys all have at least the basic Minuteman loadout.
Okay, cool.
Then, yeah, I'm all good.
Wonderful.
Cool.
All right. So, and then you guys...
I'll take it.
Yep. And so all 4 of you guys go to check out this waterway, I presume?
I guess so. 2 fills is better than 1.
2 fills is better than 1. All right, so when you get to this waterway, we're going to be kind of spending a little bit more time than normal in Google Maps because of how detailed it is. So when you pull up to this waterway, you see that your stuff, your little structure you guys had built to help funnel and collect the water or whatever, I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about, just imagine something. It was damaged, as well as there was a large rope tied off to like an anchor point on shore, a big rock on shore, and when you had to have 3 guys pull this rope up, whatever was in, out of the water, and it was like a whole bunch of dead livestock tied together, like goats and pigs. So.
Delicious flavored water. Yeah, the very first thing I would do is, like I said earlier, check the tracks, check the area around where the ropes are tied, see if there's any footprints, see if there's any vehicle tracks, see if there's any bicycle tracks, see if there's anything of that nature. Maybe even, as disgusting as this is, investigate the carrions, see if there's any particular marks on them, like knife marks, bite marks, see how exactly these animals were killed. Maybe that'll give us a clue as to who exactly did this. And then if we do find tracks, follow them.
Okay. So you see it's pretty obvious without even trying to look too hard. You can tell that somebody ramped a boat up here. It looks like right here is a good spot. Somebody docked a boat right here and then walked up this little trail, did their business here, walked back, and presumably left on that same boat, right?
That means somebody was going probably further down the river. I'm not sure which specific direction, but that's something I would look into.
Which way does the river, well, I don't know if we want to get to that technical, whether we like which way does the river flow and all that. They probably.
Yeah, I'm not sure, honestly.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. And if they got a motorboat. Okay, so I see two options for my guys. We can provide security for other Phil, or we can check out the locals and just ask them what they know. If we're not already kind of up to speed on, what they saw. I mean, I know we've received their complaints and stuff.
Sure.
Do we kind of? Yeah.
So there's like these businesses, these structures here, right up where the boat would have came up, and then there's kind of this stuff. It's a bit far, but just on the other side of the road, they might have seen something.
Let's go back to those businesses and see if they got any security cameras or anything like that.
Okay. So while Evil Phil is taking care of that, I'm trying to consolidate these down a little bit. Phil Hard R sees a glint like an optic glint from the other side of the lake, right around here where my mouse is. And then he has his SPR guy glass in, and all he can see is, yes, that there is somebody peering through some optic. They're so well concealed he can't even tell if it's binoculars or a scope or something, but there is at least one lens peering through over here, seemingly looking at where we're at right here, which is the site of the sabotage.
That tells me that they're probably holed up in the forest, but they're definitely on the other side somewhere. So definitely get some guys, some trackers to go over there, look for footprints, depressions, etc. on that side of the river if there's time for it. I see there's a bridge right there. And then keep an eye on that glass. Make sure that whoever's scope glinting at us stays in place. Or if they do try and run, we communicate, hey, we saw it move in this direction, that direction.
Yeah.
And then definitely thermal drone for sure.
Do we have, we have access to our vehicles. What I'd like to do is if and then I'm just spitballing this, if we could have our sniper basically keep glass on them, like you were saying, and keep a fire team with the sniper, and then break the other fire team off and to the other squad. That way we send 3 fire teams over to like down across the bridge and to like Proctor Road or whatever with the vehicles, and start to isolate that area from the south from Proctor Road. And then further up there's kind of that I don't know what that is. There's First Street, and then it turns into Proctor Bottom Road, and just kind of
If
we can surround that area.
If you guys want more too, like I can be looking across the river, ensure nobody's going.
Oh yeah, from your position, you got really good overwatch on that hill.
Yeah, because I don't know what elevation is like across there, but I can at least see it. And I don't know if there's other... Can you zoom out a little bit more? I don't know if there's like a bridge on the backside or anything too, like... down White Ash Road or anything. Oh no, not really. Because I mean, I could essentially QRF that way, like just keep watching and watching and watching in case they break, like start running away from you guys.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get them kind of sandwiched between us and the river. And I mean, if we can take this person alive, that'd be fantastic.
Even better.
Yeah.
Because then I'm assuming I have a couple drones as well. Like we have access to things, right?
Sure.
Yeah. Because yeah, I've
Commercial
got
off
a
the
couple
shelf.
drones. We can send one up and over and just kind of watch. I have my SPR and a team watching while I keep one on the road.
Do you want to
watch?
do me a favor? Just wait with the drone until our vehicles are kind of over there and in position, because the drone might spook them.
Freak them. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, if you spook them after we're in position, then we just grab them and we'll see.
Yeah.
Okay. So 3 teams are making movement across both those bridges to the other side, right?
Are you good with that, Phil?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You guys want to like split up and go? They're on the like left side there too. Whatever that farthest left road.
It's kind of hard for me to see. It's easier with the, yeah, there we go.
Yeah, going like
Okay,
clear
so we'll
over
just drive
to Proctor Bottom.
across 11. We'll get off onto, what is it, Proctor Road. We'll dump a team right after that first like S curve. It's so you can go up a little bit. Yeah, like right about in there. We'll put another one by the corner of like kind of where First Street is, by that building right there. And then we'll skirt down a little bit further to whatever that, it looks like houses over there, a little bit further down, Proctor Bottom. Go north. So if you look at First Street, it's basically, it turns into Proctor Bottom.
The loop.
And then you just passed like there's a big house looking thing. Yeah. So, so essentially we're trying to surround them.
Got you. Okay. And
at what point?
At what point do you want to put drones in the air when you're doing this?
Once we're in position, kind of once we dismount, basically.
Got you. Okay, so you do that. You start dropping your guys off. They launch a drone. As you kind of drop the first team off and the drone starts getting in the air, you hear over the radio that SPR from Phil R2 has there was a slight rustle in the bush. It looked like there was a 2-man team, and they then lost sight of them, right? They egressed in. So these guys no longer have sight of them. Your drone is in the air. Do you guys do anything special, or do you just carry on with your plan of dropping people off like you previously said?
Yeah, we had one more team to drop a little further in.
Yep.
I wanted to say.
Yep.
Yeah, something like
Something
that.
like that. Okay.
Yeah. And
So
basically just
Yep. Go ahead.
wait and kind of see what we can see and if they do anything for now.
Right. So here is where if you see where my mouse is where the scope glint is. After you dropped your first team off and the drone went in the air, whatever it was that spooked them, they kind of realized, oh, the gig is up. They're coming for me. And they hauled ass through the brush. As they were exiting the brush, the drone was in the air and it saw them. Right about the same time you were dropping off, this 3-man team was pulling in. Right. They run out and their boat is just docked right here. Just like a little aluminum John boat with an outboard motor on it, and 2 guys run and hop in it and go to shove it in the water and take off. Right. So do you guys do? Yes.
Do we have the opportunity to engage them, or are
Sure.
they just gone?
Sure. It's very hectic, but you could if you want. As you guys are pulling in, right, all this kind of happens at the same time because just the way it played out.
Put a bullet in their fucking engine if they got like a motor.
Yeah, shoot the boat.
gonna
Shoot the
follow
motor.
Okay, so they get in the water, they push it in, you guys open up, they catch some steam coming down river, and then it sounds like their motor starts to spud and die out as they float. You guys did a really good job. Spud and die out, and they start floating down this river right in line with Hate France, Team 1 and 2 has eyes on them.
I am pushing down. I'm going to leave my SPR guy kind of up more. And we'll have one squad go down, like just right on the river, essentially. Just like straight down.
Got you. These are teams, but I got you.
Team. I'm going to have the other team hop in their truck and book it down that road, White Ash. And I can be right on the water some more.
Okay.
Try and, like, even if they keep floating, I'm going to have eyes on them. I can either drop them or they just give themselves up and come to me.
Okay. So, cool. You do that. You have one person there. You come down right here at this corner of White Ash. So you guys are interacting with them here as they're rowing along. You guys on the shore interacting with them, and then you start to yell at them. And at this point, they've pulled out rows, and they've slung their rifles behind their back because they know there's no hope of them fighting. But they're just rowing their little hearts out. Row down the river. They go. And anytime you're like, stop where you're at, they're like, fuck you, we're not stopping.
In English?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Dude, yeah, we're gonna have a problem there.
How are we feeling?
If we have, if we have a DMR or somebody that can put a hole in that boat.
This whole world is separated from the current Iran situation. This is like the death of American politics, like random group on group, organized crime.
It's like that old TV show, Jericho.
Sure. I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm sure it is.
It's similar, but anyways, continue.
Are we wanting to just shoot them?
It's tempting.
That is very much within range of all of my guys.
Oh yeah, if you want to drop these dudes, they're fucking done.
Can you zoom out?
So they're paddling. Like they're not. Like we can fuck them up. I think at any time. Like if we could just shoot their. Sorry, I don't mean to be interrupting. Please go ahead.
Like, because if you guys can keep going, if you load back up and you keep going that, I think it was, Proctor Bottom, and you go like past the cemetery and like that way, and we can just set up like along the river. I don't know what tools and stuff we have in the boats or anything, but then if you can get ahead of them, like go across river or anything,
so
like
you want
them to stop.
You want to try to get in a boat? Is that what I'm hearing from you?
I mean, get in a boat, or like I don't know what kind of vehicles we have or anything.
Sure. Right now, you don't have any boats specifically tasked to you. You are correct. They are rowing, so it does seem like seemingly for forever you'll be able to keep eyes on them. And yeah, I mean, there's definitely a boat in town somewhere. So
I wouldn't do this, and we got them boxed in kind of where we want them right now. Let's take them now. Try to shoot the call out that we're going to shoot the boat full of holes. We're not shooting them. I don't know if they'll listen or whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But you guys can put a hole in their boat so that they start to take water and start to sink. And their situation just gets a little more hopeless.
If you can still get on bank though, like over there, then either way they go on land, they're going to one of us.
Okay. Yeah, I mean we can send a fire team with one of the vehicles and keep another two where kind of close to them.
So this Proctor Road, just so we're all clear, Proctor Road or whatever turns into this Pearl Street here, and it looks like there's some. This is a pretty high elevation, right? If we can see, it kind of steeps down, step. So at some point you're gonna have to park the car and hoof it down here to get down to the bank line, and then just be on foot walking down, which they might be able to row faster than you can walk.
Actually, I do want to add something to my team on the west side of the river. My team, that's Phil R1, that's in position right there. They were originally investigating the scope lint and the rustle in the bushes. I want those guys to proceed to the site and once again do some tracking, see if there's anything consistent, see if those are the exact same footprints as whatever we found at the site with the dead animals.
Sure. Yes, they report back that it appears, by all they can tell, this is probably the same group of dudes.
Okay, that's decent intel to know.
Okay, I'm kind of getting tired of waiting at this point. I mean, they're rowing. They're not really getting away, but I don't want them to slip the. The longer this goes on.
Sure.
Like,
Whenever you guys are close,
take an SDR,
filling them.
Start putting holes in their fucking boat, and if they raise their weapons, kill them.
Okay, you shoot their boat full up of holes, right? You're about here on the road. Another team gets about here at the same time.
Do we have a team across on the other side on like White Ash? Because I know.
Yeah, I'm there.
Correct.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, right here. So they can just travel down White Ash. They have a vehicle there as well, so there's no way they're gonna outpace them.
And I'll start pulling my second team back up and just keep following them. Like, so I got both of my teams going in the same place.
Okay. So essentially, these guys swim to shore. They do their best to swim up ahead of you, and they start to try to run away. So they get to the shore, they get on their feet, and they just take off running. Rifles still slung behind them, but they've made no attempt to grab them. Again, they know that if they try to fight, they're fucked, so they're just in, hopefully these people don't want to shoot somebody that speaks English, and I can just run away mode.
I mean, like, how far ahead of me are they? Because
50 yards.
I mean, I'm just gonna
bump them with a vehicle. I mean,
yeah, I'm just gonna gun it. I'm just gonna fucking hit them.
Sure, yeah. I mean, you can hawk them down. These guys are tired. They've been running. They just swam, right? You could probably just chase them down. So yeah. So we'll say you successfully capture these two dudes. You capture them. You throw flexi cuffs on them. You take their weapons on them. You do a hasty search. They don't have anything, no bombs or stash away stuff like that. They basically don't have anything on them. And you're like, where's all your shit? And they're like, it was all in our bags, and it fucking sunk in the boat you shot up. So all of our radios and maps and journals and letters about how much we fucking hate you are all on the bottom of the lake now, or the bottom of the river.
These boys are gonna get taken out to a pig farm, and we're gonna play a little game of slap and tickle, and they're gonna give us information.
All right, yeah. Anybody else have anything else to say? Yeah, what's up?
I'll load them up and head on back. Like, I'll have one team kind of linger, but then I'll have the other 4 and the 2 prisoners and 1 just start heading back, like, middle of town.
Okay, so everybody's back in town, and I presume we take these guys back there as well and throw them in somebody's shed and start tickling them. Is that what I heard right?
That sounds like a good idea. Chica, chica.
Okay, so basically you just hear from these guys pretty quick that they are from a family that doesn't like the family that's currently in charge, and they feel like they've been gypped, and it's their right to have claim to it, and they're having a hard time getting by, so they're trying to, start to wear us down and take over or whatever, right? These guys, they don't really fucking know what they're talking about much. They just know the assignment they got. They're foot soldier type dudes. They're pissed off, Family Feud style. And they're saying, yep, we don't like these guys. We should be the ones that are in charge of all the trade of this local area. And that's what we're trying to do.
Okay. Just
Save labor.
Any other information we can find out as far as the size of, I don't know, their force or whatever? I mean, I assume there's local knowledge of whatever other family this is. And then after we dig and dig and dig, eventually they're... yeah, I don't know if we want to put that on YouTube or how I want to say it, but I mean, there's no advantage to like letting them go, right? right? I mean,
Sure.
and we're not going to take care of them. I mean,
Cool. So now it's tomorrow, and it's time to get ready for the market. So knowing now that there's this group that doesn't like us, and they were just trying to do mean things to us, like yesterday or whatever, right? Keep that in mind. So now we have 21 men in total. Remember, 3 squads of 7, and there is a marketplace being conducted here. Right, so there'll be one market set up in one baseball field, and then another adjacent market set up in the other baseball field. And the through traffic is expected to come through this way and set up, and then exit in the same manner.
All right.
All right. Well, I don't know about you, but the first thing I'm thinking of is establishing an inner cordon and an outer cordon, probably along the tree line, maybe along the 2 baseball fields. And then definitely a checkpoint at Happy Top Road, right where it starts to get visual on the baseball field.
I was gonna say putting a team at like White Ash, and then we have a team over on the southeast side, like what is that? Whatever that highway is.
Main Center Street.
No, I was gonna have them
11.
Yeah, like right there, right at that corner, right there. 2 teams, then they control who comes in, and then we have inner and outer like on the market itself, and then like one kind of floater team. That'd be
okay. I want to jump in here as well.
Yeah, it's here.
Can you scroll down to the bottom, because I want to see what like the counter sniper situation should be if like because it's a market, right? It's a big area target. One idiot with an SKS posted up on a point of elevation starts
Sure.
Pumping rounds into it.
Some guy on a rooftop from 100 yards away.
So I think this whole market is built on kind of the plateau of what used to be this mountaintop. It looks like this inner ring where they have 500 marked. They just kind of leveled it out and built all this shit on top of it. And then if we come back, looks like there's a pretty good ravine there, and then some nice elevation that might be above us. Just to the left here, this might be all up higher than us here. And then to the south, it doesn't look like much anything. Pretty far away until it's the same level as we are.
Okay. Well, something to be aware of. But yeah, I mean, I like your ideas, your guys' ideas about the roadblocks and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Nothing else to say.
So you want
2 teams? I would like Phil R1 to be at the checkpoint on that road that I mentioned earlier. What was the name of that street? Could you switch back?
Here, 11 and...
Happy Top. So like the southernmost point of Happy Top, right where it starts to open up towards the baseball field, have Phil R1 establish a checkpoint right there. Yep. And then Phil R2 would assist with either the outer cordon or the inner cordon. Flip a coin. Excellent.
And how are we setting up this inner and outer cordon? We just want dudes spaced out like every 25 yards or something like that? Or we want dudes roving in a pattern? One people responsible for the outside and people responsible for the inside?
I'd like to get also one team of basically just low vis guys in the crowd.
Sure.
We could do one of mine, or yeah.
So we want I guess it was France that wanted to be over here at this checkpoint. That makes sense.
Yeah, I was gonna put one there and then one at the road. Northwest? Like, no, not Happy Top, White Ash. Have one team up there controlling, just coming in from that direction. right there, and then block off both ends. Just make it easier for you guys too.
Okay. And so we have somebody walking around plain clothes on the inside, and then these guys on outer cordon. So how do we want to do the outer cordon? So we have a guy here, a checkpoint here, a checkpoint here, a checkpoint here, and then guys kind of walk around more plain clothes, looking chill as they can, walking around the inside, and then we have 2 teams left, 6 guys. How do we want to do the cordon?
All right, so I'm assuming my team's handling the outer cordon, in which case, yeah, where you positioned it, I suppose could work, but specifically have them actually patrolling the outer perimeter of the outer cordon. So it's more specifically along the tree lines and along between the tree line and Happy Top Road, that outer area. If you imagine that as like a circle.
Sure. All that right there.
Because that's one concern I want to express is that tree line. Someone could very easily sneak through there, and if they got an IR scope, they could do some damage.
Yeah.
So I don't know if someone else wants to dedicate their team to that, or maybe I could do that with my team.
So I have the one, from what I understand, I've got the one. I guess Evil 1 is going to be the low vis guys, and then Evil 2 is, are they untasked at the moment?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll help patrol the woods.
Kids, chill out. All right, so you guys want to take Phil, Hard R will take over here to the right, and then Evil Phil will take over here to the left, the east and the west.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Okay, cool. So y'all set up. People start to flow in here at these checkpoints. Are we just like assuming that we kind of know everybody that's coming? It's a pretty safe assumption. Is that what we're going with?
We know everybody, but we're gonna check anyway.
Yeah. So this market is this like a weekly thing that the locals do, like a farmers market?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, I mean it's big, it's public.
I mean,
we're gonna know people, but
I'm checking
most people,
checking tarps, checking vehicles. Like,
yeah,
I'm not doing super deep searches, but
sure,
we're checking big stuff.
Okay.
And we're looking,
making sure, guns, ammo, any like
body language too.
Yeah,
I mean,
body language.
Trying to see obvious stuff.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So people are showing up. Market's getting set up. Things are going good. The market's been going on for 2 hours now. Anybody want to change anything? Anybody feel differently about anything?
Keep communicating with each other. Make sure that we all check in a timely manner. Make sure everyone's still good. That they're alive and well. No problems.
Do we want to rotate teams too, or?
I see no reason to rotate teams. I think if everyone's where they are right now, we've got all our bases covered.
Yeah, you get better the longer you do something, and if we're just doing this for one day and not, like a week or something longer, then
yeah,
I don't think we rotate teams here.
Yeah, there's no need to rotate them.
Okay. Grab a bad guy. So, it's going on. Things are going good. And then, Phil, R1, you notice first that there is another John boat with an outboard motor, a different one, obviously, because we sank the last one. And it comes ripping up the shoreline. Actually, 2 of them come ripping up the shoreline. Or, not up the shoreline, ripping up the Kentucky River, right? Headed your direction. Vroom, vroom, vroom. And then, so first of all, do you do anything? What do you do when you notice them?
First thing you do is call them in. Second thing you do is get glass on them. Make sure you know where they're going. What do they got? Give me the Met TC of these guys.
Sure, you get glass on them, and it looks like there's definitely a fire team roughly in each boat, 3 to 5 guys. They're moving quick, and they all appear to have rifles in hand and masks on of some type.
Fuck them up.
Immediately engage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you immediately engage. They return fire as effectively as they can, not very effective at all. Both boats slam into the shoreline. Motors going full bore as they fucking beach themselves. Dudes hop out. They take a couple casualties right away. We'll say two casualties happen immediately here on the shoreline. And then these fire teams start trying to envelop on you, right? So they are basically buddy rushing, or team rushing at this point, up towards you.
All right, so first thing I'm going to do is...
So you're here, they came up here, and they're coming like
both
this.
of my teams are going to escort civilians out of the combat area, get them out of the kill zone.
Let my low-vis guys handle that.
Okay. So the low-vis guys evacuate civilians. Phil R1, like I said, Phil R1 continues suppressing fire. Phil R2 is going to stay in place in the event they decide to go along the tree line, like they try to sandwich us.
I am going to send Hate 2 around like where we were yesterday. That same on the south side, no, on the across the bridge on the south side, across the river. And I want to start filling those boats with holes.
Okay. Cool. So you do that. You're filling those boats with holes. That's happening.
Evil 2 is going to push up to engage. Is Hate 1 staying in place for the cordon?
Yeah.
Keep in mind, this may be just they're trying to draw our eye. I mean, a freaking boat attack in the middle of the day is, it's pretty obvious.
Well, I'm going to keep Hate 1 for people leaving. Just trying to send them... I'm going to send them back towards town. But then... like, try and get everyone to just line up there. That way they're out of the fire, but they're still close enough. We're not just like, oh, go home, leave all of your stuff.
Okay. So you two teams are successfully escorting civilians.
Accompany, like, the civilians as far to their homes or whatever as makes sense as they can.
Sure. So you guys coordinate pretty good. You start screaming out to everybody. Everybody immediately, as you said here, the good guys rush up to clash and form a wall of body and lead against the threat. Evil 1 identifies themselves, and they start ushering all the civilians this way, everybody this way, everybody this way. And then you keep this road secured, right? Secured and blocked down, and you're pointing everybody to head down Main Street. They have the woods that obscure them and protect them from cover and concealment. So that movement's good. That all checks out pretty good. Wonderful. Okay, so yeah, basically you guys just crush this force. There's not a whole lot of room to game plan it. There's 6 dudes or less at the point that everybody gets on them, and then you guys have pretty good fields of fire, right? A team came down from the north to fill in this open gap, and there's a team here and a team here. So if they're spread across right here, they're getting hammered from 3 directions. There's not really a lot of cover and concealment for them. You guys destroy them. So, yep, you KIA all the enemy.
SSE, TSE.
Yep. What does TSE stand for?
Tactical side exploitation.
Okay.
I'm going to keep my dudes there just so you guys can search everything. Like, if we want to try and pull the boats farther up and, like, see what was in there and, like, search the dudes, then I can be looking downriver, upriver, left, while you guys do that.
Sounds good.
Because then, yeah, right there, and then I can still see you guys, but I also see all the way down the river, in case there's more coming.
Okay, yep, you look in the boats. The boats are mostly just filled with ammunition and with flexi cuffs, black hoods, and a bunch of, like, bags, like sea bags, stuff like that, cargo bags. So they were trying to take people and stuff, it seems like.
Who were they trying to take? That's my question.
I don't know. We may find out at the leaders' meeting. Or just anybody.
Yeah, I would say look for any clues about any specific targets they're trying to take.
Did we check the bodies?
Yeah, that's part of SSE and TSE.
Okay. Yeah, I assumed. I just don't know if we'd found anything on there.
Yeah, you search everybody, you don't find any specific details. There's no list of names or map with X's on it or anything like that.
Okay. Did any of these guys have radios?
Yes, they do have radios, but after a couple, like for the first hour, there's some sporadic attempts to check in with them. Nobody ever responded in, and then eventually they just went quiet.
What kind of radio is it? Is it one with the buttons at the front or pre-programmed frequencies?
Baofangs. 4 Baofangs were recovered.
You cut out. One more time, please.
4 Baofangs were recovered.
All right, 4 Baofangs. Like I said, do they have the pre-programmed channels and frequencies, or do they have like buttons in the front?
There are buttons in the front. It's like just the Baofang UV5R ham radio.
All right. Definitely record what frequencies they were tuned to, what channels they were tuned to, and have radio guys monitor those 24/7.
Awesome.
Yeah. I don't know how far we want to get into this, but I mean, whipping up like a directional antenna or something like that.
Sure.
To whatever frequency they were using, and then trying to comm check back in with them. Maybe not say anything initially, just hold the transmit button down and let it go. Do that a few times, and then call out comm check or whatever, and see if you can get an azimuth on anybody responding.
Okay, sure. So say you whip up an antenna and you do call outs, but nobody responds. Let's say they're able to realize, whether it's through just the sound of your voice or you say the right words, they know that you're not the right guy, so no one responds to you.
Okay. Alrighty. Well,
Natural. I would still try to triangulate them anyways.
Well, they would need to transmit. I guess, yeah, that's right. So they were transmitting for the first hour. So let's say that you got a direction and an azimuth, or yeah, you got a direction. You got one direction, but you weren't able to get more of them, right?
I mean,
say again.
If they're on boats, are they probably down there at like Yellow Rock? I think that's the next town. Oh no, Heidelberg.
Heidelberg City Park.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna take a guess. That's now 2 sets of dudes through, like, using the water, coming down to us. They're probably gonna be on the water, and it's gonna be a lot more difficult for them to drive. That looks like the place.
It's possible. I would say another thing to do in supplement to that would also be have trackers along the shoreline of the river. See if there's anything. Maybe even if that is their origin point, it's entirely possible that they could have put the boat somewhere else just to fool us.
okay. What about, I feel like I'm playing like a role-playing game or something. Local lore check. I don't know, we just ask around the town, see if anybody recognizes these people.
Did we get rid of their other dudes yet?
Yes. We kind of just
Yeah,
moved
in
away
this
from that one. It
situation,
sounded
we
like
just would've
everybody
made
was done with them, so I just went ahead and moved on to the next scenario.
Yeah, I mean, just like if they're still in somebody's shed, like them go, hey, do you know any of these guys? Like,
Let's just say they're no longer with us. They had a stroke
okay.
doing hard
They're
labor.
sleeping.
They're in a deep sleep somewhere. Yes. Man, this place is in the middle of fucking nowhere.
This is some
Welcome to
range
Kentucky.
I'm trying to find where our rivals live, and I can't even find a good spot. Sure, we'll say that you were standing here, right, and you picked up an azimuth, and that azimuth was this direction. But you don't
I was looking at
Show that again.
where my mouse is.
Heidelberg.
It does intersect with Heidelberg, but all you have is a single direction, so you don't know, right, where along that line technically they're coming from, or even exactly how accurate that azimuth is. Really, you can just take that as a general direction that they came from.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, have trackers go all up and down the Kentucky River from in between Beattyville and Heidelberg. See if they find anything, footprints, track marks, etc., along the shoreline of the river.
Sure. Okay.
I mean, also, I'd like to ask I guess some of the local leaders that are going to be in that meeting, what they know about, I guess, other people in the area wanting to take over or whatever. I mean, it's probably par for the course at this point in America's breakup. But, who kind of comes to mind as far as where there's, been bad blood in the past?
Sure. Yeah, I'd say they confirmed that there is a family that runs the much smaller village almost out here at Heidelberg. And years and years ago, their great-great-grandpappy had beef with his great-great-grandpappy. And supposedly for some cattle reason way back then, or some tobacco farm reason way back then, they think they should be the ones that own all this land. But he had a drinking problem and he sold it off. And they don't want to accept that.
All right. Sounds like a lead.
Yeah, that sounds like a lead. I would say that scenario has been resolved for the time being.
Sure, you guys are they're down eight gunfighters in the last 48 hours.
I mean, it would be, again, well, I mean, it's in a kind of post-apocalyptic scenario. I mean, it's a great time for a counterattack.
Yeah.
I mean,
It is.
Send like 4 teams. What does access look like from the road, like south? Like, could we go around?
So sure, we're in Beattyville here. We can go south, and it looks like 11 goes all the way down. It keeps going south.
I want to take, what is that? Go back. What is that? Reese's Body Shop. What's that road going to there?
Yeah,
that
so
would
it
be
looks
where
like
we want to go.
587 does go from 11 here, cuts over into the 3. What the fuck is that? 390, 399, which then takes you up to Heidelberg. So yeah, you could go way south like this.
If we send like two teams, one north on the river, one south around like that, and then like they have to have roadblocks. Like, they don't seem that stupid.
Yeah, but even if we just punch them, just hit them a little bit. Like, we don't have to go full on assault, clear the place out. Just shoot them up a little bit and get in their OODA loop for this, to kind of help cover the leaders meeting a little. I don't know.
You can also drive from the north side of the river. There is roads that go all the way along the bank, so we don't have to take the river itself if you don't want to.
Yeah, because that's what I was saying. We just go up and around and have one team on one side, one team on the other, and then we can just hold up on that side of the bridge and kind of see what's there, and then another team coming from the north there on the other side and just kind of see what's up. If they have people, we can hit them and run, or we can hit them and keep pushing.
If we're doing this kind of quickly, like without committing a whole bunch of recon, I'd rather do the hit and run. And if we can, do it from a direction that's different from, I mean, I don't know what else in the surrounding area is dangerous to us. But if we can hit them coming in from a direction that doesn't make it obvious that we came from, you know.
It looks like the only three ways into here is this road from the north, this bridge from the south, or along the river itself. And it looks like there's like a big dam situation here. Yep. So this can probably be locked down from river travel pretty good as well, if they want to.
Because if we push from the south there, we can see if they have boats and stuff. Fill them with holes again. Like, make it really annoying for them to keep going up the road or up the water.
Yeah, if they got a dam there, if we can use a drone for some recon, I don't know. Are they using the dam to like generate power or anything like that?
I think that's a safe assumption.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, we can mess that up with bullets or whatever we got. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
because they got to have boats on that side.
Yeah.
If they've gotten up to us, it has to be on that side. So
yeah, you're absolutely right.
See what's up. Fuck those up too.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, fellas. Whoa. The controls are different from one program to the other, so that's why I'm always clicking the wrong left or right. All right.
You're good, man.
So, what do we want to do? We talked about a lot. How are we actually doing this?
My team stays on the river.
Who's that?
Phil are 1 and 2. Those guys are going to stay along the river. They're going to push the direction of Heidelberg.
We should. I feel like we should leave a couple of teams back in the.
Yeah.
We don't want to leave the town like undefended.
Sure.
Smart idea.
I can send Hate go the south route, out and around.
All right, and I guess Evil One, since they were the low vis guys that kind of led people out. The crowds there probably already know them. Oh, are you guys? Okay. Well, if my teams are the ones that are still in town, then we can just.
You can incorporate them in the attack. Well, there is a law enforcement element, and there are other people and stuff. I mean, it's up to you. You're like the SWAT team, right? So if you want to leave some SWAT team back to have more ass at the home base, then that's a fair decision to make. We have been under attack, but also they're not completely defenseless if you leave.
Mobile to desktop. I will be right back.
Yeah, go for it, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I wanna join the attack, but I mean, the smart thing I think is to leave a couple of guys home, or on how quickly, if things got bad, how quickly could they drive and get to where Hate 1 is, or drive to where Phil R1 and 2 is?
Yeah. Are you thinking like a QRF type thing?
Like if it, yeah, I mean, I know that's unlikely because you guys are going to probably shoot and scoot, and we'll see, but, you know.
Well, it looks like south is a lot quicker just because it looks like it's a lot flatter and like a lot easier drive, but north looks like the shorter distance by far.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, we're probably planning on keeping the
what's it called?
Heidelberg.
Heidelberg, yeah.
I'm so fucking terrible at spelling. HEID.
second result there.
$15 minutes.
Yeah.
15
Well,
minutes.
if you're booking it too,
that's a long
it's going
time.
to be less.
Sure. 10 minutes minimum.
Okay.
Actually, that makes me have a question. Is Google Maps able to calculate the time and distance if I were to walk along foot along the river?
I don't know how to get it to do that.
Probably not.
You might be able to do it with like the walking thing. Like it'll give you options for like bicycle, car, walking, and then
There you go.
okay.
So that's
3 hours. That's pretty close. It's
3
not
hours.
perfect, but yeah, it gives you an idea.
That's not perfectly along the river line either. However, it's a decent enough approximation. So it'd probably be a little bit shorter, but
I would say
either way.
2 hours with a bunch of in shape dudes following the shoreline and being pretty dedicated. 2.5 hours or so. It kind of dictates how like bad the terrain is going to be actually on the ground, but
I can accept that because my team, what I would have my team do is not necessarily go direct action. It would be more so pushing security, like going further and further up to sort of sandwich them, if that makes sense.
sure. I mean, we could also wait for you to do the foot insert before we came up in vehicles as well, if that's what you guys
That
want
would
to
be
do.
smart.
Because I can go nice and slow around, or I can take off after, go nice and slow around, and I can just wait, or like be the main force that they see, try and pull them if we're trying to sandwich.
Right. What you would do in reality is you would establish an ORP, which is why we have ORPs, right? So both people would establish an ORP. You would leave from base to your ORP, and then you'd wait in your ORP until you were both in the ORP, and then you'd say, okay, cool, yeah, we're gonna initiate attack now.
Or, I mean, it would be leaders recon first, probably
Sure.
in this case.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Anyways, I guess they gather information or do what they do.
Okay, so yeah, so these are the two teams we're doing. These guys, squads, I mean. These guys come up from on foot, and you guys come up in the vehicles. You pause just outside, right? So they're like up here somewhere. You guys are probably pulled off to the side of the road right over here somewhere. And you want to do a leader's recon?
Yep.
Okay. Whoa. So you guys come up, and you guys creep up a little bit. You guys come up and come up here and creep up. And man, there ain't shit here. So you creep up and you see these trail roads, but there's nothing there. So you kind of keep creeping and you set up somewhere in this brush and you observe. And you see not a lot of population, but you do see a truck drive by, and it's got a couple guys with rifles in the bed. And you see the people that are meandering about. It seems they normally they're open carrying a weapon of some type. Sometimes just a pistol. Sometimes it's a long gun that's slung. Okay? And then you guys here at the south, when you start to try to approach this bridge to see if your leader's recon, you see that they have a checkpoint on the other side of the bridge over here, just on the other side of it, with vehicles blocking the road and at least 3 individuals armed with long guns.
Do the two fill our teams, do they have eyes on the checkpoint?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so what does the two hate teams, what do they want to do?
Well, because we can sandwich, we can just squish, and I can push in more. Like go across the bridge, and then we would be staring down Main Street. Now a large armed populace. Don't know if I want to mess with that, but
Yeah, because you're going to have to extract on foot if this goes haywire.
South.
yeah. Because there's...
Yeah, I would say definitely, well,
Let me hear what Hate has to say first.
Well, I was just gonna say because I can go up to what is that Railroad Lock Street and just stop, or we pinch first. You guys are like more on the like where the dam is, like more over there, like closer by the water. Yeah, like down there. You pinch up, see if there's boats or anything. If we can take their stuff, we might as well. And then we can take out that
Grand Theft
checkpoint.
Auto.
Exactly. Yeah, take out that checkpoint. We have you guys set up as like your escape is hop in boats and book it. And then I can go up to like, Railroad Lock Street and just like stop and L form right there. Then if we have to turn around or if we have to book it, all I have to do is flip a U and book it.
Yeah, I'm done with that plan.
Takes out their dudes, gets us more stuff, and kind of lets us gauge how many people, like more people there are.
Can I jump in here?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
What do you guys have as far as night vision and thermals?
We'll say that each team has at least one night vision device with it, and each squad has one thermal.
Okay.
Does the SPR guy have either of those?
Yeah.
Sure.
Like,
Excellent.
because we can sit and wait till nighttime.
I mean, their town is probably going to be illuminated from a lot of light stuff. I mean, you may have hit them in the circadian lull to maximize property damage if you want. Anyways, it's y'all's game, though.
I mean, hit them at, dusk at night. And we can just, same thing if we want.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Okay, so you go back to your RPs. You wait until nightfall. It is now nightfall. And so the plan is for you to come up here, right? Also, let's say you did identify they have 6 of those aluminum John boats with outboard motors tied up on posts here along the bank, just on the west of the dam.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you know that they have some boats here. They have their checkpoint here. They're generally an armed population. Okay, now it's nightfall. So what do we want to do? We're going to come up here with Phil's team again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And
All right.
then we're coming up here with Hate's 2 teams. And so...
And I'm lights off. Like, no lights, no nothing.
Sure.
Drivers have night vision.
Yes, sir. And what's the game plan? That post is still manned. It is nighttime. They when you get up there, whoa, I'm all over the place. When you get up there, they have spotlights on, right? So they have spotlights on, shining down the bridge, basically illuminating the full length of the bridge. Big industrial construction spotlights.
Are we?
You want to give them that L-shaped ambush?
Yeah. Well, are we suppressed or are gunshots full force?
Whatever you want to say. We'll say you guys have suppressors. Why not?
Okay, because if we got suppressors, you guys can go through. If you want to release, there was 6 boats. You guys can release 4, and then keep the other 2. Like disable engines, drop them off, whatever.
Yeah.
And then that's your escape. And then I can try and sharpshoot out the lights, maybe. Or I can just leave them and we take them, and then I just go across the bridge when they're all dead.
I feel like it'd be a little more efficient to just don't worry about hitting the lights. Focus on the guys with the guns.
Yeah.
That's my thinking.
Because if you guys can just sneak up behind them, I can be out front and take their attention. And then if you guys sneak up behind them, actually take them out, then I can just roll up and I can sit there again.
do something kind of like an L shape, like you guys
Yeah.
from the south, and then one of my teams from the front assaults through the objective.
Yeah.
In this case, the checkpoint.
Yeah. We can do that full send. I'll drop one of my dudes off to just sit and watch the road, though. Like, behind us. Just make sure no one's coming.
Yeah, so I'm going to have Phil R1 go ahead and, like you said, post up by the boats, and then Phil R2 is actually going to assault through the ambush.
Okay. So who is initiating? Support by fire is going to open up fire initially? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you pull up. You open up on this fire team. You get one casualty right away. Everybody else ducks behind cover and starts to return heavy fire immediately, like effectively down that bridge, preventing any sort of advance through the bridge, right? They're being very effective at blocking the advance that way with lead. You guys come through and you set up. As you start to get towards the boats, that's definitely something they're paying attention to, and they see you as well, and they start to send some sporadic fire your direction. At this time, 2 other fire teams worth of individuals come pouring out and running down this main street right here, River Road, if you will. And at this intersection, they kind of split off and they form along here, engaging Phil's teams, kind of trying to protect the boats that they have there.
Ooh, boy, yeah, this is
Wait.
about to get really fucking nasty.
Did
I'll
you
say that
guys
on YouTube.
Did you guys take out the boats before? Because I thought.
Yes, we
thought
took
were
out.
gonna-
If I recall, there were 6 boats. Our team took
Yeah.
out 4 of them, and there's 2 left.
Okay.
Because if you guys just want to hop in and book it,
And then you guys evac as well.
yeah, and then I can get out. I can stay there. I can keep most of their fire. And then if they
And-
switch, like swap
Yeah,
to
let's
you.
do that. And then
can-
one quick question: is there anyone on either of our teams that need Casevac?
Not at this moment.
Okay, yeah, just get the fuck out of there while we still can.
Yeah.
I need to watch my mouth more.
It's whatever. I think we're good at this point. We're about an hour and a half in. All right, so cool. That is pretty ballsy. So we are going to take some friendly casualties, unfortunately. We have, right, I will say there's 7 guys here. 7 guys try to haul ass under fire from 8 or 9 people and hop in 2 boats and drive down a river. It's basically, it's not wide open, but it's pretty open. I'm going to say you take 2 casualties. So you take 2 casualties, and I'll even be nice to you and say you managed to load them up on the boats with you. Right? You guys get shot up in like the legs and the back, and they're crawling up to the boats, and you throw them in the boats as you're throwing the boats in the water, and y'all are able to roll out of there on those boats upriver. You guys are still under heavy fire, and then with those boats gone, these 2 supporting fire teams start to take up positions to the left and right of the shoreside bridge and engage Hate 1 and 2.
Like, while they were taking off, one of my dudes loading up, like, where trucks were already turned around, we're ready to go.
Sure.
And start going.
Cool. So as soon as Phil hits that shoreline, he zooms out about 100 yards down the shoreline, down the river. You guys cut fires and load up and roll out. Okay, so you guys are out of there. We took 2 casualties. They took 1.
And they lost boats.
And they no longer have any of the boats that at least we were able to see.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I feel like my plan with the shoreline was kind of a dumb one because I basically made my 2 teams into sitting ducks. As soon as you mentioned, like, oh, they're having guys respond alongside the road, that's when I realized, this is not going to end well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have probably... I mean, at that point, you have to... I think taking the boats and running away is probably the worst thing to do. I guess the worst thing to do is just stand there and exchange fire and wait till the maneuver on you. So it's better to do something than that. But
I was expecting I was expecting more of like a pinch. Like you guys would sneak up like more along the road, and yeah, right there, and just hit them, and then I could come
along
up
the
and,
road. Yeah.
Well, I mean, like you come up behind them, because if they're on the like the bridge, like right there, yeah, you get up behind them, then they don't see anything.
I think the lesson I should learn there is elevation. That's what I should have used a little bit more of.
It still would have been quite a fight, even if they came up from here and hit him. Right, eight guys respond with long guns.
Yeah.
So then we're locked here, even Stevens with support by fire. So we have to have some decisive action at somewhere, or we have to cover their retreat. These guys have to break contact through cover and concealment.
That would have been when I book it across the bridge, and then they're essentially pushing 8 dudes into 2 trucks and 7 guys. Like,
across a bridge, that's a real tight, basically a fatal funnel at that point. It would have been.
Well, no, but if you already took them out, like you already took out that post right there,
sure,
they're gone. I just go straight past them, and I sit right at the corner. If they're sending dudes straight into our fire, because we then have 4 squads right there.
Yeah, I think that at an established post, which I did give you, you're going to get the drop on them. You get a couple casualties or whatever. I think I gave you 1.
Yeah.
But there's built up cover and concealment. They've been thinking like, hey, if anything goes down, I'm going to jump right there. And so like, you know, it's not even that they're on a random patrol. It's even more solidified than that. This is like at a place where they're constantly thinking about exactly what they're going to do if they get shot at. So the chances that you're just going to like wipe the whole crew there right away is probably pretty low unless you're able to initiate with an explosive device.
Fair. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
That being said, gentlemen, I don't think we're actually going to make it to the leaders' meeting. It's been an hour and a half in, and I'm getting glares from the lady. It's about dinner time around here. So I got to go.
Alrighty.
But before I take off, if anybody has anything they'd like to discuss at all about this or anything, I'm all ears.
This is fun. I want to do this more, and would you be open to suggestions from other people in the server?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm always open to all kinds of suggestions. Hit them up in the video ideas or even in the TDG chat or just wherever. And yeah, I love this. I love suggestions. I would even love for other people to run it some weeks. I had a guy who's had to take some time away for personal reasons, but he ran it one week. It was pretty awesome. So I'm very open to the community.
Yeah,
I might if I can figure out the technical side of like all the Discord stuff, I would be down to do that as well.
Sure, yeah, just hit me up and we can talk through that and see what all you want to do and what I can cover for you and take care of all those details there.
Cool. Alrighty, I might actually just do that as soon as everybody hops off.
Yeah, awesome, man.
I will hit you up too because I think I will throw you guys off with mine.
Yeah, awesome, dude. I love it.
Especially in your area, you're in Colorado, so all those mountains are going to be really fun.
On Colorado, essentially Colorado, Utah, like Wyoming, like this whole area of the country.
Yeah, it's the Rocky Mountains.
Well, it's straight up or it's flat, and there is 0 in between. And so that would be a lot better thought experiment too, because it's not something you guys are used to. Or I think most of you. I think I am the only Westerner over here.
Yeah, man. I would love to do some TDGs ran by you in your neck of the woods in that terrain over there.
Oh yeah, one last question. What does TGG stand for?
Tactical Decision Making Game.
Excellent.
Okay.
That is exactly what I wanted to hear.
Yeah.
Y'all stick to a schedule when you guys do this?
Yeah, we
Like,
start.
do you do a certain days of the week?
Yes, every Thursday at 8 p.m. Central Time is when they start, and we run them. They run about an hour. I try to keep it. Sometimes they go all the way up to 2 hours.
Okay. Is it just show up and whoever's there is there? Or
Yeah,
there's
show
like-
up, and I type out a scenario, start the live, talk about the scenario, kind of shape the situation while people show up, and then whoever wants to volunteer to be a squad leader, whatever we got going on that day, and then as you just saw, we kind of play it out. And I have a general idea, like when the day starts, where the enemy is going to be and what their game plan is going to be, but I'd adjust it as a real enemy would. And yeah, we used to run these in the Marine Corps all the time when I was in. So.
Oh, I'm tracking, dude.
Yeah.
Excellent. I'll fit right in.
All right, nice. Yeah, I'm gonna try to hop on at some point.
Yeah, dude, awesome.
All right, thanks.
Absolutely.
All right, gentlemen.
All right, fellas.
Cool. Well, good night.
Later,
Yeah,
boys.
I wish y'all a good
All
night.
right, everybody.
Yes, sir. See you next week.